Alright, let's dive into this with a fresh take. There's been a lot of chatter lately about the Lakers and their approach to building the team. Especially with all the talk about buyouts, people seem to act like relying on buyouts is some sort of sign of desperation, like it's a last resort or a move for teams who can't do better. But honestly, that mindset just doesn't add up. Why should it matter how the talent arrives? The Lakers needed a center. That's a fact. So if they can get a solid center, like Adri Ayton through a buyout without giving up assets, isn't that smarter than trading valuable picks or players for someone they could get for free? It's really about efficiency. If you can fill your roster holes without mortgaging your future, why wouldn't you? Signing someone on a buyout means you save those trade assets for other potential moves down the line. Think about it. Would you rather give up a first-round pick or pick up a quality player who's available without a trade? The Lakers are in a situation where their assets are limited, so naturally every move has to be calculated carefully. Getting players via buyouts can keep them flexible and patient, which might be the best path forward. And here's the kicker: if the Lakers had traded for Ayton, the narrative around him would probably be totally different. Everyone would hype the move, talk about how they just landed a defensive anchor, and build excitement for what that means for the team. But because he came in through a buyout, suddenly he's seen as a liability or a bad signing. It's wild how much perception changes based on the path a player takes to the team. Even though at the end of the day he's the same guy with the same skills, context matters, no doubt. But isn't the end goal just to improve the team and win games? The reality is that patience is key, and it's paying off. Rob Pelinka's strategy to hold onto assets and fill roster spots via buyouts has brought the Lakers players like Luka Doncic and Adri Ayton in a relatively short time frame. If any other team had landed those the top picks from the 2018 draft within 6 months, everyone would be talking about how unstoppable they are. But since it's the Lakers and they got them through buyouts, there's this strange resistance to appreciating the moves. It all comes down to this question: why does it even matter where the talent comes from? Whether it's a buyout or a trade, a player is a free agent at some point. Free agency is meant for teams to improve their rosters by signing players. If Bradley Beal got bought out, would it really be smarter to trade for him instead of signing him directly and saving assets? It just doesn't make sense to focus on the method when the outcome is what counts. And the criticism isn't just from Lakers fans. Non-fans also throw shade, saying the Lakers are just scavenging from scraps. But other teams are also eyeing these buyout players. And these guys still bring high-level talent. The Lakers' ability to get these players without giving up picks or contracts is a clear advantage, especially when the market is tight and assets are limited. Look at Andrew Wiggins, for example. If Miami bought him out tomorrow, would the Lakers suddenly shy away from signing him? Of course not. Whether a player is bought out or traded, the Lakers just want to make their team better. It's about results, not the label on how they got there. If the Lakers end this season with players like Jake LaRavia, Adri Ayton, Joshua Okogie, Bradley Beal, and Nikola Vucevic all on the roster, whether via buyout or free agency, that would be an incredible offseason. Imagine if all those players had been acquired via trade instead. We'd be praising the front office, calling it a masterclass in team building, and predicting a championship run. But because they came mostly on vet minimum deals or buyouts, suddenly the narrative is they're less valuable. It's a double standard. Buyouts happen for many reasons. Take Okogie's situation. Charlotte is a young team loaded with players at his position, so buying him out makes sense so he can find playing time elsewhere. Bradley Beal's buyout isn't about his talent disappearing, it's about fit. With Miami acquiring players like Jalen Green and Devin Booker, the roster composition simply changed, making Beal less necessary. Same for Ayton. His situation in Portland was complicated, and while there are concerns about his attitude, he's still a top 10 center in the league. At the end of the day, the Lakers don't need to prove how they got the talent. They just need the talent on the court. Whether it's a trade or a buyout, what counts is the player's impact. If the Lakers sign Al Horford or bring in those other pieces and then go on to dominate the season, no one should care how they got there. Championships don't come with asterisks based on the method of acquisition. If you need a center and you can get one for free, why wouldn't you? Imagine you're hungry and want a hot dog. You can pay to dollars for one, or your brother offers you one for free. Why would you pay? You'd take the free one every time, right? Same principle applies here. If you can get high-quality players on buyouts without sacrificing assets, it's simply the smarter basketball move. Even beyond pure basketball logic, this strategy helps the Lakers stay patient. They can sign veterans on buyouts, fill their needs, and keep their options open for the trade deadline. If they need to make a move later, they have the assets and flexibility to do so. If not, they already have a strong roster built through free agency and buyouts. So while it might not be as flashy as blockbuster trades, the Lakers' approach makes sense. It's about maximizing value, staying flexible, and ultimately building a championship-caliber team without overpaying or losing future assets. The way these players join the team doesn't diminish their talent or what they can bring on the court. In the end, winning is what matters most, no matter the path taken to get there. Continuing from where we left off, the conversation around buyouts versus trades really boils down to understanding the bigger picture and team-building strategy. There's this old-school mentality that trading assets to get a player is somehow more legitimate or valuable than signing someone who clears waivers or gets bought out. But in today's NBA, where cap space is king and flexibility is everything, that logic doesn't always hold up. The Lakers, or any team for that matter, have to be smart with what they have. If they can acquire quality pieces without sacrificing future draft picks or young talent, that's a win. Look at it from the perspective of cap management. When a player is bought out, the team acquiring him often pays a fraction of his original salary, sometimes just the veteran minimum or slightly above. This means the Lakers can add talent without blowing their cap space or luxury tax situation. That kind of financial flexibility allows them to keep their core intact, continue developing young players, and still chase other big moves later on. It's a balancing act between immediate improvement and long-term sustainability, and buyouts give them a tool to navigate that balance. Critics sometimes argue that buyout players are washed up or past their prime, but that's not always the case. Players like Adrian or Bradley Beal, as mentioned earlier, aren't old or declining stars. They are still in their primes. Their buyout status is often a reflection of fit or roster construction on their previous teams, not a drop in ability. The Lakers see value where others might not, capitalizing on situations where players just need a fresh start or a better environment to thrive. It's a smart way to find diamonds in the rough. Also, the narrative that trading for players creates more excitement or legitimacy is tied to how fans and media perceive moves. Trades are flashy, they come with highlights of assets exchanged, and they feel like grand gestures. Buyouts and free agent signings are quieter, less glamorous, and sometimes overlooked. But the bottom line is that the player on the court is the same whether acquired through trade or signed after a buyout. The impact they have during the season matters far more than the method of rival. The Lakers front office is clearly playing a long game by avoiding rash trades and instead focusing on patient acquisition through buyouts and free agency. They maintain flexibility. This patience also means they can evaluate the roster's chemistry and the league landscape before making major moves. At the trade deadline, if the team is already competitive, they can avoid giving up key assets just to make a splash. If they identify a specific need later, they still have ammunition to make the right move without panic. The concept of buy low, sell high applies here too. By picking up players who are undervalued or out of favor with their former teams, the Lakers get the chance to maximize their return on investment. It's about timing and opportunity. The buyout market is unpredictable, and being ready to pounce on available talent shows savvy management. It's not desperation, it's strategy. One more thing to consider is team chemistry and fit. Sometimes trades don't work out because a player doesn't mesh with the system or the locker room. Buyout players are often more motivated to prove themselves, knowing they're coming in with something to prove. That hunger can translate into on-court energy and better performance. The Lakers might be banking on these players' desire to earn a contract or a championship, which could be more valuable than just their raw skill. Furthermore, the Lakers have a storied history of bringing in veterans who want to compete for a title no matter how they get to the team. From Shaquille O'Neal to Dennis Rodman, the path wasn't always a blockbuster trade or a marquee signing, but the impact was undeniable. This modern approach with buyouts is just another chapter in that tradition, bringing in players who fit the championship culture and are ready to contribute right away. It's also worth noting that the buyout market often includes players who might have been stuck behind younger talent or rebuilding teams. When those players join contenders like the Lakers, they're stepping into roles where they can maximize their strengths. It's a win-win situation. The player gets a chance to shine on a bigger stage, and the team gains valuable experience and skill without a major cost. From a fan's perspective, it might not feel as exciting as blockbuster trades, but the Lakers' approach could lead to a more balanced and cohesive team. Instead of sacrificing future potential for immediate gratification, they're building a roster with depth and flexibility. If the plan works, it could keep them competitive for years, not just a few months. Looking at the league as a whole, teams that master the buyout market often gain an edge in a salary cap era where every dollar and every draft pick counts. Being able to scoop up talent on the cheap is a huge advantage. It forces other teams to make tougher decisions and sometimes overpay in trades, while the Lakers keep their resources intact. It's a form of roster management that's becoming more popular. As analytics and cap strategy evolve, of course, nothing is guaranteed in sports. Buyout signings can be hit or miss. Some players don't fit as well as hoped, or injuries and chemistry issues can arise. But that's true with trades too. The key is being patient, flexible, and willing to adjust. The Lakers seem to understand this and are executing accordingly, which is why it's frustrating to see the criticism framed as doing nothing or just picking from scraps. Another layer is the psychological aspect for the players themselves. Being bought out can feel like a reset button, a chance to find a better opportunity without the baggage of their previous situation. For some, it's rejuvenating. For the Lakers, it means bringing in motivated players who want to prove they still belong at the highest level. That kind of energy can be infectious and help push the team forward. Let's not forget the bigger goal here: winning championships. The path to that goal isn't always straightforward. Teams have to be creative, adaptive, and sometimes unconventional. The Lakers' willingness to use buyouts as a tool shows they're thinking outside the box and leveraging every opportunity. The ultimate measure won't be how the players join the team, but whether they help bring home a title. Looking ahead, if the Lakers keep combining savvy buyout signings with potential trades at the deadline, they could have a roster that balances youth, experience, and star power. That combination is often what separates contenders from pretenders. It's a delicate mix, but one that the Lakers are working hard to perfect. All of this shows that the basketball world's old narratives about trades being inherently better than buyouts need updating. It's about outcomes, not optics. The Lakers front office is playing a smart, patient game that could pay huge dividends. The players matter. The results matter. How they got there is just a footnote. In the end, what really counts is whether the team wins on the court. If they do, it won't matter if Adri Ayton was a buyout pickup or a trade acquisition, or if Bradley Beal came in on a veteran minimum. Fans will remember the rings, the plays, and the moments, not the details of the contracts or transactions. So while the debate will no doubt continue among fans and analysts, the Lakers' approach reflects a modern understanding of building a championship team. It's pragmatic, flexible, and focused on maximizing value. It's a strategy that acknowledges the realities of today's NBA and uses them to the team's advantage. That mindset might not generate the same immediate buzz as a blockbuster trade, but it has the potential to build something far more lasting, and if that results in championships, the critics won't have much left to say. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, whispers are swirling around the NBA as the Los Angeles Lakers may be on the verge of pulling off a blockbuster move by potentially acquiring KARL-ANTHONY Towns. The star big man, known for his versatile scoring and strong presence on the court, is reportedly generating a buzz in Hollywood, with insiders suggesting that the Lakers could be gearing up to welcome him to the purple and gold. Sources close to the team hint at serious discussions behind closed doors, fueling speculation that the Lakers see Towns as the missing piece to elevate their roster. Given his ability to stretch the floor with deadly shooting and dominate inside, Towns would complement the Lakers' existing core perfectly, creating a formidable duo alongside their current stars. The excitement surrounding this possible signing has already begun to ripple through fan communities, with many imagining the kind of offensive firepower that could light up the Staples Center. The Lakers front office is said to be exploring various trade scenarios, weighing how to make a deal work without jeopardizing their depth. KARL-ANTHONY Towns, a former #1 overall draft pick, has demonstrated consistent growth and resilience, traits that align well with the Lakers' championship aspiration. While nothing is confirmed, the mere suggestion of Towns donning the Lakers jersey has sparked conversations throughout the league, hinting at a bold strategy to reclaim NBA dominance. If this deal comes to fruition, it could signal a new era for the Lakers, blending youth, experience, and star power in an exciting mix. The potential arrival of Towns isn't just about on-court impact. It also sends a message about the Lakers' commitment to building a team capable of contending at the highest level. Fans and analysts alike are eager to see how this rumor unfolds as the trade deadline approaches and teams shuffle their cards. For now, it remains a tantalizing possibility, a story of what could be rather than what is. But in the high-stakes world of NBA trades, such whispers often lead to seismic shifts. Could Karl-Anthony Towns soon be celebrating his arrival in Los Angeles? Joining the Lakers' storied franchise and igniting a new wave of excitement, the buzz is undeniable. And all eyes will be on the Lakers as they navigate these thrilling possibilities. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news, subscribe to our channel, and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also share your opinion on the news in the comments as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.